Let's start our tour right here with this bed. If you can even tell, that's a garden bed. That's Elliot. And it's just mostly briars. I got that huge Trillium in there. You can see there's some yarrow desperately trying to make its way in the world. And briars, salvia. So these sad little salvia greggii are trying to come back after last winter. We had one of the coldest cold snaps that we've had in years. It got down to 9 degrees for an extended period of time, and I thought these were dead, but they tried to come back this summer, and it's going to be really difficult getting all these briars out of the ground without disrupting those too badly. So I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to save them, but we will see. And then behind these briars here is, you can't see it, it blends in so well with the blackberry briars. There is a butterfly bush back there. See if you can see the trunk. That's, boy, somebody needs to check their brakes. Okay, so there's the trunk of the butterfly bush. Excuse the sniffling. I am so sorry. It is so cold out here. I keep waiting for the Georgia weather to revert to type and to have some warm days sprinkled in between the cold days, and it's just not having it. It's decided that we're having a cold winter. You can see blueberry. I have a couple of blueberry shrubs in here, and so they too, however, are just filled up with blackberry briars. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love blackberries, but unfortunately they have decided that they are going to be the main plant that is grown here from the ground farm. Okay, so then this is a bunch of space that I haven't done anything with yet. There used to be a peach tree right there, and it split in half during a storm, and so it opened all this space up. That's its sister tree right there, and it is in desperate need of a good pruning. It is huge, and I am just as concerned that it's gonna split next time we get a bad storm at some point. Like, I'm worried it's gonna split. But here in the middle, we've got whole middle section is just full of briars. I got these pots that I set up for growing bog plants in, and they just need to be dumped out and start over. I've got my tea shrubs. So those are my adult tea shrubs. Camilla sinensis, and then I got some babies here, and then I'll show you the others on the other side. Peach tree, and it's so beautiful in the spring. I just need to get it pruned properly. One of the things I got to figure out what to do with is these metal scraps. Got lots of pots for potting up all my seedlings that I grow every year. I've got, these are some plants that I grew last year and I just never got them in the ground. I mean, I've got some hyssop, hyssop, and some Rebecca, and some lemon balm. I never got it in the ground. It was really frustrating. I mean, I grew all these too. I grew a bunch of basil and other herbs and some coleus, and it just, nothing ever happened with it. It just sat here because the spring and summer were kind of rougher than I thought they were going to be. But this one little thyme is hanging on. It's trying its best. So I'm gonna have to get him in a good spot where he'll be okay. This is a crepe myrtle. Been growing it in this pot for about 13 years, and it's really cute. Does a little bonsai thing. It's grows tiny little leaves and has cute little flower clusters, and so I've just, keeps taking care of it in that pot, and I love it. These are my other tea shrubs. These are the ones I got from Sunrise Nursery in Winterville. Maybe I should actually focus on the shrubs. So this is one of the few things I've actually done in the garden, is this little area. I dug up all the, there's massive amounts of motherwort. That stuff right there. So I do need to come back in here and get the rest of these little seedlings out. They're trying to come up. Motherwort gets really big, and when it flowers, the bracts on the flowers are really spiny and they hurt. And motherwort really is not useful for a whole lot of things. It has its uses in herbal medicine, but it's not too terribly useful for a lot of things. It's all motherwort that I got to get rid of. And it has this unfortunate and uncanny appearance with another plant that is illegal to grow without a license, especially when it's in flower. And I may have had the DEA on my property this summer checking that out and trying to figure out why I was growing something that I shouldn't be growing. And so I'm kind of done with it, which is a shame because the pollinators absolutely love it. Oh, my pear tree. My pear tree, that side died and part of it fell. Unfortunately, it fell on my tea shrubs, but they're fine. But I gotta cut the rest of that down on that side. And I don't know how long this other side's gonna last. We'll see. I'm hoping it'll continue to thrive for a while, but eventually this tree's probably gonna have to come down. It's just having that whole one side die isn't great, but we'll see. Cat again. And then all of this is so hard to tell because of the briars that are growing in here. This is it's a space, like there's quite a big space in here that I can't grow anything right now because of all the briars. And then I've got all my pots that I was growing my potted plants in, just everywhere. They're just thrown in the garden to get them out of the way while my dad and my sisters built my porch, which I'm very, very grateful for, last summer. And it's chickweed though. I got chickweed growing up, so that's good. So I got this bed here that mostly just has grass in it right now. So I'm not too worried about this bed at this time. It can grow grass in it, and do its thing for now. This isn't even gonna be a problem in the spring. This grass will die as soon as it starts to get hot. And there's bee balm in this bed. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there's some. So there's some bee balm in this bed that comes back pretty well. So I just have to make sure that it has a freeway through the weeds to get up, and then it usually shades everything out. There's not a whole lot in this bed other than some more motherwort, and so that I'm gonna have to dig all out. But yeah, these beds with the briars are the real problem. Now this is the middle garden. This goes around. I have the driveway that goes around this part. Hey y'all, so here it is. This is the patch of garden that I'm going to be working on today. The big thing today is just going to be getting these briars chopped down as much as possible. I will be able to at least get the vines chopped down, and then I'll leave maybe about that much of them sticking out of the ground so I can see where they are. So then I can go get tools to dig the roots out, or at least as much of the roots as I can. And I know people are going to be like, well, why don't you just spray them with herbicide? Well, I hate herbicide. I mean, that stuff just gets everywhere. And on top of that, blackberry brambles are very, very difficult to kill with herbicide. And so I'm just gonna do the manual labor. It's good for me. It's good for my health to just go ahead and do the manual labor and do it myself and get this stuff out. And so let me go get my gloves and glasses. Okay, I gotta wear the glasses. Protect my eyes because I really don't want to stab myself in the eye while weeding in the garden again. That was fun the first time. There's also a little bug in the... Okay, well, it's a dead bug now, so oh well. As long as I can't see it, it's not going to freak me out. That wasn't awkward. Okay, so I got my rake, my shovel, which I don't think I'm going to need today, but I always like to have it around just in case. My hedge trimmer, which this tool has been absolutely invaluable. It is great for cutting through those vines, those blackberry vines, and breaking them down to smaller pieces. I got a mattock, which I will need for digging up the roots, and I've got my chompers, my clippers, for the more ornery ones that are like laying flat on the ground and hard for the hedge trimmer to get to, and my trusty wheelbarrow that I can load all the pieces of the briars up into and haul them off somewhere for them to dry out and die. So, all right, I think I'm gonna start with the clompers first and tackle some of these that are more on the ground, like these guys here. So, all right. I do like to try and make everything harder if at all possible. Well, sorry guys, but for today, for day one, that's gonna be it. I was hoping to get more done than that, but I reached the point where I was struggling even to lift the rake up high enough to get into the briars, and I was starting to stumble a little bit. So I mean, it's real, folks. You know, there's a fight to come back from that level of just destruction to your body that chemo can do. So you know, I'm not saying you shouldn't do chemo. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you should do your research beforehand. Our doctors are fantastic resources. One, find an excellent oncologist. And then two, do your own research. I know they're going to tell you not to, but taking your health into your own hands, life-changing. You know, you should know what you're getting into before you start any of those treatments. So let me show you what we have accomplished today. Okay, so not terrible, especially this area right here. I mean, that was really bad. So now I just got to come in and I got to dig up these guys here, all these guys through here. That is going to be, that's going to be another day. So probably tomorrow I'll plan on coming out and getting this stuff hacked back better than that and get this taken care of. So it'll be this again. And then depending on how tired I am, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how satisfying it is to get this stuff like whacked back. Just cutting through it and watching it disappear is so cathartic. It's so cathartic to just one after the other watch them drop and fall. And it's the same for when you start digging up these guys and actually getting them out of the ground. That's such an amazing feeling to just watch them fall one by one. And I used to have some garlic chives in here and they're gone. Probably because people keep running over. They flattened this whole edge of this bed because everybody comes through here and they, for some reason, just run right over it. And one day I want to put up a little stone wall. Doesn't have to be very big, just a little stone wall. And so when people drive through here and they think they can cut through my garden beds, I mean, they straight up have driven over flower pots and broken my flower pots. I mean, I'm talking about flower pots that were up in here, not even close to the driveway. And they just drive over it. Flowers, vegetables, they just flatten them. And so I'm like, oh, I just want to put a little stone wall up through here to define this garden bed. And if that doesn't work, I will put nails in the wall sticking out, because that's disrespectful. Stop running over my garden. All right. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today on my little gardening adventure that I'm starting and, restarting. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my poor dilapidated garden, and I hope that I didn't bore you with the tiny amount of work I actually accomplished today. Yeah, but it's one day at a time, right? You know, you don't just get all this stuff done in one go. It's one day at a time. It's little steps every day. Everybody's got stuff in their life, stuff that they'd rather not be dealing with. You know, sometimes, you know, we were never promised an easy life. And, you know, just because you got something difficult that you're dealing with, it doesn't mean that you should just give up. Just take all that stuff all that garbage stuff that you've got going on in your life, and start working on, throwing it out. Say, stuff, my God is bigger than you. And with his help and his strength, we're going to throw you in the dumpster where you belong. You don't belong in my life. You belong in the dumpster. You belong in the garbage. I'm going to get you out. Okay. I got to go blow my nose. Because, the cold. It's going to be colder tomorrow. Yay! For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lie. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.